on Yabatek Radio, 89.3 FM every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we discuss various businesses that started up as just simple ideas. Spotlight is brought to you by Young and Senator.
Are you ready? Simi, are you ready? Let's do this. You're welcome to the show. This is Spotlight on Yabatek Radio, 89.3. Good morning, Lagos. My name is Comfort. You're welcome to the show this beautiful morning. Simi, how are you? Good morning. You were alone last week. What's up?
It was weather, man.
How are you doing, though?
I'm cold, but I'm fine. It's cold.
Great. So, listeners at home, you're welcome to the show. This is Spotlight on Yabatek Radio, 89.3. And on the show today, we have someone amazing, a wonderful guest here today. It's the Idea Series on the show today. And remember, at 11:30, you can call in to win airtime. So you can attempt our general knowledge, current affairs, and science-related questions. From 11:30 to 11:45 a.m., we have the quiz and win segment. Remember, if you can quiz it, yes, of course, you can win it. I'll give out the phone numbers to call. So today, we're talking to Oluseyi, why did I say Sheyi? Oluseyi Ekisola. So, but before then, let's take his profile. Let's find out who he is and what he has done.
Yes. So my guest is the founder of Uwakhonye Digital, an independent creative marketing agency in London and Lagos. They specialize in the creation of content and e-commerce growth. They are newly established in Lagos, and they also have a podcast network that currently houses the biggest podcast in West Africa. I said what I said. Although he was trained in the legal world, building and helping brands to achieve their sales targets and global success is where his passion lies. He loves dodo, and it's very possible to steal him and plantain.
So on the show today is Oluseyi Ekisola. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
Okay.
It's a beautiful day in Lagos.
Yes, it is. All right. So let's talk about who Oluseyi is outside Econ and his love for dodo.
Yes. Well, I rarely talk about myself, so this is going to be strange.
Yes, today we're talking about you.
So it's usually everyone curious about the business side.
Okay.
So you have to throw questions at me. What exactly do you want to know about Oluseyi?
Okay, let's go back to the legal. Let's go back to the fact that you studied law.
Yeah.
So what happened? Why the transition from law into digital marketing?
I think so. First and foremost, we have like a family law firm in Ikoyi.
Okay.
Ekisola. So the idea was to go to England, study law, and somehow work my way back into the law firm.
Okay.
And that was all going well, but I think I'm also from a family where you're raised to be very independent and do things in your own way.
Okay.
So very quickly, being in England, coming from Nigeria, I took time to just, look at the industry, see where I can fit in.
Okay.
And I realized that I'm very good at almost selling things, especially online. So that's where it kicked off from. Uwakhonye Digital is actually my fourth business.
Okay.
So the first three, I don't like to say they failed, but it didn't go well. And you learn a lot of lessons. So from there, it makes it easier to understand any new brand and the things they need to do.
Okay, but do you still like law? Do you still see yourself practicing?
I do, and I have my very close uncle who's like a father to me. He still looks at me every day, even though the law firm looks after Uwakhonye Digital. They handle all of our legal affairs, but he still looks at me every day like
you come back here one day. Okay.
So when you started,
Yes.
did you ever think that this would stand the test of time? Like you said, you already tried the other businesses, and then did you feel through that, okay, this is going to stand the test of time?
Yeah, I think at the very beginning, obviously, just like every new business, you have those doubts, but obviously consistency really matters. That's probably the most important thing if you just carry on doing it. So he had his struggles. I'm not going to pretend as though it was just all good and jolly. He had his struggles, but I think there was a bit more assurance with this one compared to the other three, because this is service based. So first you have to look for clients, do the work for them,
Sorry to cut you. Were the others product based?
more or less.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one is almost like, okay, this is a concept. This is what you do. You're trying to sell these things. You're looking to me to deliver the numbers. If I deliver the numbers, then you stick with us. So it was easier.
So how long have you been running for?
In London, we've been running for 7.5 years. In Lagos, we've been running for 13 months.
How is it being in Lagos?
How what?
Running a business in Nigeria so far?
I'm literally learning new things every day.
In comparison to what you have abroad.
Yes. I'm literally learning new things every day, and I didn't think that would be in Lagos more than London, but it's turning out that I'm needed here more.
Okay, so I'm going to pick the word "I'm needed" here more. What informed the idea that, oh, I'm needed? Was this something you discovered later? Like, what informed your idea of starting up Edcon Digital in Lagos, Nigeria?
Okay, so there's been sort of a few trips back and forth, and people that I've worked with, and I think I've always thought about the idea of setting up here anyway, but I did a particular project for a company, and the people that I worked with were like, you were very fast with this. Most of the people we work with in Nigeria take time, they ask for more money. You didn't, like, you delivered. It was very, because that's the structure in London anyway. Everything is very, we don't tell you pay us this amount today and then come back next week and say
Pay another amount.
And, do you get what I mean? So I think they were shocked by that, and the fact that the timeline we give to them is the time that we finish the work. So they were, you should really set up here. So I think that was maybe I would, like I said, the idea had always been there, but I felt like that was the confirmation that I needed. And then I don't mind taking a risk anyway, and as you know, setting up business in Nigeria.
It's a risk.
You've done 3 and then you're doing it.
So and that was it. So I decided to come, and at first when you come to Nigeria as well, you have a few meetings in coffee shops or sometimes in the lobby, and there's a reaction to you because people look at you like, who's this guy just speaking? But as soon as you get yourself an office building and you put all these things together, they come in and they speak to you in a different way. So I'm learning this thing called packaging as well, which is very, very important in Lagos.
So let's talk about your first client.
Yes.
How were you able to convince?
Yeah.
So there's something you said about speed. You said you do everything fast. So you've not explored that part. But how were you able to convince your first client that I will do this for you and do it well?
Okay, there's something I should have mentioned. Apart from Edcon Digital, there's a business called Edcon Studios, which is like a 4,000 square feet space we have in London. So different people come in there to create content. So Star Wars has been shot in there. Puma, like so many brands have worked in there. London College of Fashion, I've done photo shoots in there. So my first clients will be Grassfits. It's a fashion brand. They're quite big online. They sell Ankara worldwide, and I believe the owner came in just to hire the space to do a shoot. But she brought in a photographer that she found online that wasn't really my business partner. She's an amazing photographer. So I just saw this my African sister struggling to do this shoot. So I went down to her and I said to her, look, let me help you with this. My business partner can take the pictures and then you can set up. And I think conversation started from there. So she went away with 2 items, came back, now has 10 dresses. And so we started creating images from there. I told her the other things we could do for her. And I think when they came in, she only had £50. the business I'm talking about today is worth £26 million.
Wow.
In the space
We
of
should
2
ring a
years.
bell.
So yeah, you should check them out online. They're very big. You probably would have come across some of their videos and content anyway. Yeah.
So there is something I want to ask about the challenges. So I want you to outline some of the challenges you faced, not as a company in London, but in
Here
Nigeria.
in Lagos, Nigeria.
Exactly.
Okay, the current one I'm facing, which is very funny, I think the accountants only just called us last week. It's pretty difficult to open a Nigerian business account. Now, that's not the fault of the system. It's just because I have a business partner who lives abroad, and so there's something about getting BVN, right? And London is on lockdown, so she can't get BVN. But there's just different things that are like so simple that you'd be able to sort out elsewhere. They just take a little longer, or you have to make too many phone calls
To get it done.
to get it done. And then the obviously unusual bills that just come from every corner. So I think the system or the structure needs to change a bit to encourage more young people to not feel like they can't go into business or register a company. Because I know quite a few people who run a business that are not registered, but they still run almost like a sole trader type thing. But they have an actual building and they're running a business from there. But because of all these challenges, pay this tax or pay, and I hear about the fact that the laws change regularly, and there's always something new introduced.
Welcome to Nigeria.
So what mindset have you put towards it? Like embracing those challenges instead of running away from them. What have you been able to keep up and create a balance?
Okay, so for me, I'm never too afraid to ask questions or say when I can't do things. I think that's something people need to embrace more. People tend to pretend that they know things that they don't know. So if I feel like I have run, I don't know, against a wall where I feel like, okay, I need help here, I would call people who have set up businesses, who have done it ahead. Look, who can you tell me to go to that will be able to help me here? We had issues when we got our office building in Lekki. We had issues with power. Now, for instance, if you rent a building in England, you shouldn't have to worry about things like that. Or those are the basic things that would just come with the package. With the package, white goods, whatever you call it. But yes, just those little things. But just ask people, ask questions. There's people who are maybe too afraid, because asking how to do something is not necessarily you asking someone to do it for you. You just want to know. And if I just keep quiet and I don't ask, I probably still wouldn't know.
Ignorance. So let's come to digital marketing.
Yes.
So do you think Nigeria embraces that? Like, is Nigeria a good place for that?
It is, because there's some amazing agencies that do a brilliant job here. Majority of them are just very big. I feel like most of them haven't tried to focus on small businesses, who are the people who probably need it the most. For instance, I would never go after a big client, even though anyone would tell you that's where the money is. I personally have a passion from saying I worked with this brand to grow them from
Exactly,
here
to here.
So I think there's not enough sort of agencies targeting those small businesses, because in the real sense they don't have the kind of money that people want to charge. But they are doing amazing work with the big brands that they're working with, because we see all the ads, we see so but it's also as though it's very different here, because for instance, e-commerce is not a big thing in Nigeria, so there's a lot of trust issues. I've learned that if you buy a mobile phone here, you basically want to open it and see that's a mobile phone. So that affects the idea of buying things online and waiting for it to be delivered. We're used to DMing people or WhatsApping people, and that's very, very new for me. because you just go online. I mean, whilst we're sat in the corridor before the show, I bought something online and it will be delivered to my house in London, and I don't have to worry about it. But in Nigeria, and that's where the money is really and truly, if that part, if people can invest more in the online business, because then you can reach a lot more people. Not just even if you have 200,000 followers on your Instagram, right? If you have an online business where millions of people can buy from anywhere in the world and you're able to get your product out there, it's incredible. It's what you call going to sleep and still making money because someone's buying on your website.
So I'm going to digress a bit. So you said online thing. Only starting up a website in Nigeria is a lot. People shy away from it a lot. So what do you have to say about that? Is it a risk worth taking? Like, most people want to, they're like, oh, how much is a website? And they mention this big price and everybody's backing out. No, I would rather do word of mouth and WhatsApp, DMs and stuff. So what do you have to say about people going into online business? Like, should it be something that should be embraced, or should people, like, because the Nigerian system does not really appreciate a lot of things, but what kind of mindset should people have towards this moving forward?
I think, let me use the website thing as an example. The truth of the matter is, if you're starting a business, you have, I like to believe that you have some sort of money, no matter how little it is, that this is what I'm going to use towards this business. Now, that budget could either be enough to do a website or not be enough to do a website.
Okay.
I am sat here and it took me 4 days to learn how to do a website by locking myself up in a room. So if you can't pay for certain things, then you need to be able to put in the work to learn. Right? Because things are different now. It's so easy. So instead of looking for someone that you're going to pay, who's trying to charge you all of this money, if you can, lock yourself up in a room somewhere, go on YouTube and learn as much as possible about building a website, because it's actually not that complicated. It's not like 10 years ago. You now have almost like this starting kit where you can, buy domain, buy a theme, now obviously
it's almost like a plug and play.
Yeah. But obviously if you're doing something like, selling online, then to be fair, you do need professional help, because you're putting yourself in a space where you need to take people's credit card details and those things. So it's important that you get help at some point. Okay. But you can start off yourself.
All right, listeners at home, to be part of the show, you can call the phone numbers 07018001783, 091313841110. If you have questions or you want to make comments, or you've worked with Econ Digital, feel free to call in. So shout out to him. 07018001783, 091313841110. Those are the numbers to call to be part of the show today. Now I'm going to ask you, are you affected, is your company affected by the Twitter ban?
I think every company is affected.
So how bad?
To be fair, we mostly use Twitter for information anyway. We don't see it as a sales channel because there's more conversion that happens elsewhere. But it's still an important tool, because you need about 100,000 people to know about your business for you to take a thousand sale. Twitter comes in there. Twitter helps with achieving those numbers. So it's just shocking to me, because I'm aware that there are a lot of young people that make money on Twitter, and I guess there's nothing more Nigerian than what's happening here. Because we do not like our egos being stroked. We do not like people talking to us anyhow, wherever we are in the world. So we're suffering from the consequences of one tweet and a ban of 12 hours. And I'm hearing it's cost over, I don't know, the economy 6 billion, I don't know if it's naira or dollars, you have to fact check that.
Yeah.
But it's still unbelievable amount of money just because of one tweet and a 12-hour ban. And it's still incredible how quickly Nigeria could act. I did not know. I thought it would take like 6 months.
I thought so too. I
did not know we have that in our...
I didn't know such a thing was possible in Nigeria, but well, it is what it is. So what qualifies you? What qualifies anyone to be called a digital marketer? Because these days you see people immediately they can operate Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or they have an iPhone. I'm a digital marketer. So what qualifies you from a professional point of view? What qualifies you to be a digital marketer?
That's a very good question, because I see a lot too where even I still get those ads where people say, oh, I can do this for you for 10,000 naira or 20,000 naira. Well, first and foremost, you need to learn. It's very important. And even as I'm still sat here, I'm still learning, because it's a very sort of broad field. It's very new, because the way that we see marketing back in the day, the flyer, put in the car, I still see people do the traditional marketing here, which is good, but it's not as effective anymore. Things need to change. So to answer your question, I don't think there's a particular something that you have to do that qualifies you unless you've gone to study it.
Okay.
Right? But I'm a true believer that you can learn so much online. So I'll always push. There's so many courses, podcasts, things you can listen to. But you also have to have a lot more idea of what you're doing. I find that businesses here just think, okay, I'm just going to take a picture, post it on Instagram. I've shared it. That's all I need to do. But there needs to be a strategy. Why are you posting it? What do you intend to get from that post? Is it a post to, reach your community? Is it a post to actually convert and make sales? Are you trying to get people to buy? Also, more importantly, it's a social platform. It's not a marketplace. So you can't be very pushy in terms of sale. Because you see people and they just write it all day, like, order this today. Do you get what I mean? It's not so it's a very big conversation in terms of how do you select someone to look after your business. What experience are they bringing on board?
Exactly.
You have to ask those questions. Okay, how have you helped any brand? What have you sold? What have you? If I think it's easier to manage a service-based social media compared to one that sort of looks to you for sales.
To make sales.
Yeah. So because if it's service, you're only just sharing information as much as you can about we do this and we do that. But when it's products, when you have 10 bags to sell, and someone is responsible for doing all of your posts, you'll be looking to them like, we haven't made any sales today.
What next?
So,
what next?
Yeah. So it really depends on your business, and you have to decide. Just ask questions anyway. What the person has done before. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so what makes a good content? We've moved from digital marketing now. What makes a good content? What content is sellable?
It depends again on the industry.
Okay.
Depends on the industry. So I'll need you if you can give me an idea of a business, and then I can think of a content that could help them.
Simi, what business should we give? Let's talk insurance.
Okay, insurance.
Because insurance, I picked insurance because insurance is a bit hard to sell here in Nigeria.
Yes.
So let's talk insurance.
Yes, because first you have to educate people, just the same way I've struggled to sell
And
podcasts.
we also have the God forbid it does not happen to me kind of spirit to insurance that don't are you saying I should insure against fire? My house will not be burnt in Jesus' name.
I get that, but I think there's certain insurances in England that obviously it's just compulsory anyway. It's compulsory to have a car insurance.
Yes, we have third-party insurance compulsory here in Nigeria as well.
Yeah. So first thing is to just educate people that look, by insuring those things does not mean that you're asking for it to happen. You have life insurance doesn't mean that you're saying you're gonna die next week, but it does mean that if anything should happen, your loved ones can be protected. Because that's why you get up to go to work every day anyway. I think the best way is think of mobile phones. How many mobile phones have you had in your lifetime? There's times where things have happened where it's literally not your fault. It could be a child that's dropped your phone in the toilet. And if you have insurance, then I don't know if they give your phone back here. But like I said, I think the first thing is to try and shift that notion that insurance means you're wishing yourself some sort of bad luck. So if I was to manage an insurance company, I think one of the strategies will be there has to be that education element where we're constantly, maybe once a week, posting a new fact about insurance anyway and why it is useful, and then the other post can then be maybe more fun and maybe describe people who have, you know, a child who's thrown someone's phone away, and telling them that, look, because this person had insurance, they didn't have to worry about it. Even their reaction to it is like, oh, you know, because I see when people's phone even drop in this country,
and the way
they react. Meanwhile, if my phone drops, there's a level of, okay, well, whatever happens, even if the screen is cracked, I know I can send it or get my money back or even have the whole phone replaced without having to worry.
Okay, so your company produces one of the most listened to podcasts in Africa. I said what I said. By
Shout
Jola,
out to I said what I said.
Jola, Ayeye, and Abuju. So how did that journey begin?
An interesting one. I was in a petrol station in England. I was listening to this podcast. Now I have a videographer. His name is Temi Tokwe, and we were talking about Temi Tokwe, that a very, very brilliant guy.
Okay.
You should check out his work. We were talking about our podcast, and then he mentioned I said what I said. So I was listening to them, and I remember just staying in the car for another hour, and I'm like, why do I not know about these people? Why are they not, you know, out there more? This is funny. Like, it's just so, you know, I felt like I knew them, and I know them from nowhere. So obviously we were renovating the office space at the time, so we had a room where we're not sure
What to do with?
So I remember calling the contractor from London, and I'm like, okay, so we're going to design a podcast room, and this is what's going to happen. So I had the intention of approaching them, but I told you I'm a risk taker. I was willing to put in that investment before even approaching them. So we did a whole podcast room. I knew that previously there was issues with their audio, because I remember I always like turn up the volume, reduce the volume. So I knew almost everything that needed to be fixed. So I put all of those things in place. Again, it's a product, so I knew that I could sell it. So that part is not a problem. So came to Nigeria. I think it was even at the airport that I sent Jola a message, and I'm like, look, I know you don't know me from anywhere, but I'd like to have a meeting with yourself and FK. They agreed. They came to the office. We had a conversation. I told them how in love with the podcast I am. I told them how they could be much bigger than they are, and showed them the room. And they looked at it like, so you want to be a podcaster, we don't even know if you say yes or say no. And I was like, well, you do like it, right? And they did. So obviously had the whole conversation, dealt with the whole legal bit, had an agreement, and then just put a team together, introduced video elements, spoke about the quality of guests that we should be getting, invested a bit, and now, 17 episodes in, it's the biggest podcast in West Africa and number one in Nigeria for a very long time. And the numbers are crazy. Like, we're having to even turn advertisers away sometimes. It's incredible.
Okay, so let's look at the reception of podcast content here in Nigeria. I know that if you're not in the creative space, if you're not into just creative space, I don't think, go on the street and ask about 5 persons or maybe 10 different age groups or age grades. It will be difficult to get 3 that will tell you they listen to podcast. You would even get a response of, what is podcast? What's on the podcast? It's radio now, and other, it's difficult. So what would you say as regards to the reception of podcast content here in Nigeria? Are we there yet? Are we getting it?
So in terms of numbers, we're not. I'll be very honest.
Okay.
It's a whole new market. But just like everything, certain things catch on in different spaces. There are a lot of people who consume podcasts in the country, but they mostly consume podcasts that happens outside of the country.
Yeah.
But it's still a small number compared to, the amount of maybe people who listen to radio. And so just like we're talking about insurance, is trying to think of an avenue to lead people into listening to the podcast. So one of the ways that we thought about was introducing video, because we know everyone consumes YouTube, right? So it's almost trying to use YouTube to promote the podcast. Now, if you go onto the YouTube, you see a lot of comments that makes me laugh, because people are like, oh, you guys only do 10 minutes video. If we have maybe a very big guest or whatever, we'll do about 30 to 40. And majority of the comments is just complaining, like, we need full-length video. But the whole idea of having a 10 minutes video is to make you go listen to the podcast. Because then when you watch the highlight reel, you want the rest of the conversation.
Yeah.
So that has changed a lot. So you see people will watch 10 minutes and then they go get a podcast up and listen. So it's working.
Interesting. So I usually think, or rather, I say to myself that I think there are more podcast creators than podcast listeners. What do you think in Nigeria? Because a lot of people want to have their own podcast. Everybody wants to have their own station and anchor. Everybody wants to put out their content there. But who are those actually listening to this content? Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. But because it's podcast and it's permanently in the domain, people will discover it regularly. And Nigeria is not the only. I mean, I said what I said is big in Nigeria and Africa.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who listen in America, Canada, and the United Kingdom. It's crazy numbers in the way that it's increased. And that's the whole idea, because I think not every radio station, so to speak, can get to those numbers, but podcast can. So even if there are more creators, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I probably turn about 2 podcasts away every day because I'm like, guys, we're a digital marketing agency. Podcast has just come as a thing that we're now doing. But I want inquiries from brands, not from podcast people. So,
Okay.
So it will change. It's getting there. So I encourage people, if you can start a podcast, definitely start. If you have something to say, don't just start a podcast because you want to start a podcast.
Have something to say.
Have something to say. There's something you want to contribute to the domain. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So time check. It's 11:30, and it's time for our quiz and win segment. We'll go for this quick break, and when we come back, we'll open the phone line. So if you're good with current affairs, general knowledge, science-related questions, feel free to call me up. Stick around. I'll be back after this break.
I didn't want to take that question because I wanted you to. The question about Twitter and me, and I was dancing around.
When other stations are talking about it, I don't understand you.
I wanted you to take it because you had the best
You're not serious.
words.
Yesterday, two shows on Classic FM and the other guy, they were singing "All We Are Saying." He was Twitter.
Businesses that started up as just simple ideas. Spotlight is brought to you by Young and Cerebral.
Okay, are you ready? Let's go back. So we have our quiz segments. Let's see what we have today. If we don't have to talk 100 times. You're welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is the Spotlight on Yabatech Radio 89.3, and it is time for our quiz and win segment. Remember, if you can quiz it, yes, you can win it. The numbers to call 07018001783, 09131384110. Those are the numbers to call. When you do call in, pick a number from 1 to 15. Each number has 5 questions. If you attempt 3 correctly, you win airtime, and if you attempt the 5 of them correctly, you also get to win a much more bigger amount of airtime. The numbers to call again are 07018001783, 09131384110. Those are the numbers to call to be part of the quiz segment. The questions are general knowledge, current affairs, and science-related questions. So feel free to call if you want airtime for today. At least airtime that will last you till till the end of the day. So feel free to call me 07018001783, 09131384110. So we have general knowledge questions, current affairs, and science-related questions. So feel free to call 07018001783, 09131384110. So if you're very good with current affairs, call into the show and challenge us here. So we get to, all you have to do is attempt the questions, and if you get 3 correctly, you're good to go. 07018001783, 09131384110. Feel free to call any of the phone lines. We have 15 questions. We have 15 numbers rather, and each number has 5 questions. just attempt 3 correctly and you get to win airtime. But if you attempt 5 of them correctly as well, you get to win airtime. 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. Feel free to call. It's a quiz and win segment here on Spotlight. 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. If you're very good at current affairs questions, general knowledge, science-related questions, if you are good with any of that, feel free to call. It's the quiz segment here, and the numbers again: 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. We have loads and loads and loads of airtime to give away on the show today by just attempting my questions. Just answer 3 correctly and you would win airtime. 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. How many winners did you have last week? 1 person. They didn't get it correctly. You're welcome back. It's still the quiz and win segment here on Spotlight. Remember the numbers to call: 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. All you have to do is attempt the questions. Attempt current affairs, general knowledge and science related questions, and you're good to go. I have loads of airtime to give out on the show today, so feel free to call. What's up with the phone lines? I hope no one's trying to reach us. 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. Feel free, call into the show and I'll be here to take your calls. Just attempt current affairs, science-related questions, and we're good to go. 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Good morning, welcome to the show. What's your name?
My name is Uche.
Your name is what?
Uche.
Uche, where are you calling me from?
From Bariga.
Uche from Bariga. All right, pick a number, Uche.
Okay, that's number 1.
Question number 1. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, question number 1. What is an arrangement of chemical elements sorted by their properties called? What is an arrangement of chemical elements sorted by their properties called? A. Chemical tree. B. Atomic chart. C. Canon of elements. D. Periodic table.
Okay, periodic table.
That is correct. Question number 2. Which gas changes the timbre of our voice upon inhalation? Which gas changes the timbre of our voice upon inhalation? A. Ethane. B. Helium. C. Carbon monoxide. And D. Nitric oxide. Option C is wrong. Option C is wrong. But thanks for calling, Uche. 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. Those are the numbers to call to be part of the quiz and win segment here on Spotlight. So feel free to call the current affairs questions, general knowledge, and science-related questions. 070-1800-1783, 091-3138-4110. Feel free to call. It's still the quiz and win segment here on Spotlight. Feel free to call. We have current affairs, general knowledge, and science-related questions today on the show. And all you have to do is call in. Call in to attempt any of the questions and you will be able to win airtime. on the show. 07018001783, 09131384110. Are you very good at current affairs? You know, you should even earn bragging rights on the show. So feel free to call 07018001783, 09131384110. Those are the numbers to call to be part of the quiz segment. You're not taking our airtime back, so feel free to call and win the airtime on the show. 07018001783, 09131384110. 07018001783, 09131384110. We have current affairs, we have science-related questions, and we have general knowledge questions. All you have to do is call in, pick a number. Each number has 5 questions. Okay, we have a call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay. Please call me back 07018001783, 09131384110. Those are the numbers to call. Feel free to call to be part of the show this morning. We have 15 numbers. Each number has 5 questions. And if you attempt 3 correctly, you get to win airtime. If you attempt the 5 of them correctly as well, you get to win a bigger amount of airtime. The numbers to call again, 07018001783. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Damlai. Where are you calling me from? Hello? Damlai, please call me back. 07018001783, 09131384110. Damlai, if you can hear me, please call me back. 07018001783, 09131384110. Those are the numbers to call to be part of the show this morning. If you have if you want to win my airtime rather, feel free to call 07018001783, 09131384110. Alright, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap up the interview. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning, welcome to the show. What's your name?
My name is Michael.
Michael, where are you calling me from? Surely. Michael, can you turn down the volume of a radio set, please? Alright. Alright, Michael, pick a number.
Number 5.
Question number 5. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, question number 5. Which of these words is not a preposition? Which of these words is not a preposition? A, ha. B, for. C, upon. D, since. What did you say? Since. Oh, that is wrong. That is wrong. Well, thanks for calling, Michael. 07018001783, 09131384110. You can still call. We have about 2 minutes to go on this segment, and then we wrap up our interview with Sheyi. So feel free to call me up 07018001783, 09131384110. We have current affairs questions, general knowledge questions, science-related questions as well. So feel free to call 07018001783, 09131384110. We have about 2 minutes to go. Someone should call. Someone should win our airtime today. We can't take our airtime back. So 07018001783, 09131384110. Guess what? Is the phone lines? We used to have calls on this segment. I'm wondering what. Is that what? Huh? What did they say? What did they say?
I feel like they were calling because of my voice. Because I sounded so rubbish. Oh my god. They're like, I'm from.
You are not serious. We're going back. Are you ready?
value of an idea lies in the usage.
Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living."
Tune in to Spotlight on Yabatech Radio, 89.3 FM every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we discuss various businesses that started up as just simple ideas. Spotlight is brought to you by Young and Seven.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is still Spotlight on Yabatech Radio 89.3. And before the quiz segment, we were talking to Oluseyi Ekisola. He is the founder and director at Digital. We've been talking about the digital marketing space. Who would you call a digital marketer? You know, what qualifies you to be called a digital marketer, and what makes a good content? What content is sellable and what content is not sellable? And podcast as well. We'll be talking about how podcast is building here in Nigeria, the audience and podcast creators we have here in Nigeria. If you have questions at any point or you want to make a comment as regards to our conversation here in the studio, feel free to call the phone lines. So, Shay, let's come back. What do you think about what do you think keeps people glued to a particular podcast? Like, I'm actually burning my data to listen to like 1 hour podcast. So what exactly do you think keeps one glued to such content?
I think just sometimes it's even interest in the people rather than what they're talking about. And sometimes it's what is being spoken about rather than because there are a few podcasts that I listen to that I don't really care for the people, but what is being discussed. I'm interested in. So it's one of those two things. But when you find a space where both things sort of align, then it's a perfect podcast. So even when you're speaking about something so boring, you're already invested in the people that you'd listen. And because it's something you can always come back to. It depends. For instance, if I'm subscribed to like 10 podcasts now, I'm not going to say every week I listen to all 10. There might be times where you're cleaning the house or doing something and then you just put it on and you just carry on listening. It's one of those, and especially the educational ones. People probably listen to learn. For instance, I'm subscribed to so many digital marketing podcasts, as you can imagine, so that I have a vested interest in the topic and what's coming up, because you have to keep yourself sort of ahead of the game and listen and keep learning, like I said, because it's very important.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the major challenges that podcast creators they all encounter is the fact that it's difficult to actually get advertisers. It's difficult to get people to sponsor. So what must one do to be able to attract this kind of people? Get the right people that would sponsor your podcast?
Yeah, so what I've learned is, again, because like I said, you're almost educating people. The same way you're educating the audience about what a podcast is, you're educating advertisers as well. So I've been in conversations where I'm saying to people, look, if you advertise on a podcast, even if someone discovers the podcast 6 years from now,
the advert is still there.
The advert is still there because, like I say, it's permanently in the domain. There's some podcasts that I got onto late, but from their previous adverts, they've given out like a discount code to something, and those discount codes are still working. So imagine discovering a podcast today and there's a discount code to order suya from somewhere, and you're still, using that same discount code. Suya is such a useless example. No one orders suya from anywhere. but you get what I mean.
Yes, we get the gist.
So so it's about saying to advertisers that, look, if you invest in this, even if it's just 1,000 people that listen to this episode, there will be another 1,000 that will come later on, and they will all listen, and they'll still be aware of your brand, your business, and whatever you're offering.
That sounds like everlasting.
It actually is. It actually is. That's why if you also go on a podcast, I wouldn't advise that you advertise something that is so limited. can't be like, oh, I have this limited thing and I'm going to advertise on a podcast, because people will still be
Interested.
listening, discovering. Yeah, but they're coming around now. Advertisers are coming around.
Gradually.
Yeah, gradually.
Okay, there's this thing with digital marketers, like we said earlier, you know, these days you hear people say, I can get, if I bill you as a digital marketer, you'll be like, what am I paying for? What is it? Like, when I can get someone who can collect 10K, 20K to get the job done. But there's another issue of social media managers, or digital managers, so to speak, not stable. A lot of companies complain about these things. How do you have the same issue in terms of getting the right people to work, who are not, today they are here, tomorrow going somewhere else? Do you have like people who you can vouch and say, okay, I have a team, a stable kind of team?
Yes, I've been very lucky. So if you come to our office space, it's very different. I mean, Pamela is here; she's our office manager. It's very different. It's a room full of young people who are learning every day. I don't keep people till 5 or 1. If it's 5 p.m., it's time to finish. You can do a 10 to 6 or 9 to 5. So I think it really goes the way that you treat people too. That's the way you sort of retain employees and motivate them. I don't want to speak for them, but I believe that they enjoy where they work, because I've tried to bring the culture that we have in the London office into the Nigerian sort of system. So in terms of I don't know, social media management, for instance, we wouldn't take on a brand where our job is just to post for you. We have to create the content. That's what I'm saying. There's intention behind it. Same way we wouldn't take content that you've done elsewhere and we start posting it for you.
Okay.
We create the content because from the moment that we've all sat down as a group and looked at the brand, we've built up a strategy of how we're trying to either drive sales or drive people, and every single caption matters that accompanies that picture. That's why it's very important that you just pick someone that says, oh, I can do it for 10,000 naira, because for them too, they'll just be like, okay, once I post, I've done my job. And that's the attitude. They're not thinking about the results or what you intend to get from that post. So.
Interesting. Simi, you have any other questions to add?
I was just carrying away by everything he had to say, because he was just dropping a lot of bombs. But I think it's true what you said. We have a lot of unstable social media managers. Okay, we have a lot of unstable social media managers out there, and I feel like they don't know the attitude they should have towards the job. So, and most of the time it's all about, okay, we want you to post. So they think it's all about, okay, posting. Just post. And so I don't know what you have to say to people who want to be social media managers as well as people who already have.
Yeah, it's like I said, it still goes back to learning. You can probably never learn too much. It's impossible. There's always something new. There's a new strategy. I mean, we have an issue that's coming up. I don't see a lot of people talking about it in Nigeria because, like I said, it's an e-commerce problem. But where there's a privacy issue between iPhones and Facebook, where advertisement is not able to track you anymore. There's a lot of permissions being granted. So that affects my business more than Twitter, so to speak. So instead of sitting back and just, waiting, you have to start learning now. How do we defeat this issue? How do we make sure that your clients are still able to sell? What kind of product contents do we create, to navigate that problem?
Ask the questions.
So basically, yeah, getting back to ask questions. So for anyone who wants to be a social manager, don't just post pictures. Learn, see what people do. Just learn. There's so many available content for free that you don't have to pay anyone out there. Just maybe I would do a blog post or something and just try and I don't know, teach people, encourage people. I'm actually trying to take people on. So I don't know, send your CV to recruitment@econdigital.com if you're interested in this sort of space. And yeah.
Okay, thank you so much it's been 5 minutes of talking to you, and it's been a lot. It's been an amazing time here. Thank you for coming on the show today. So final thoughts. Do you have any other thing you want to say? Final thoughts on this, and let's wrap this up.
On the whole, I love this space. I love the fact that we're in this building. I assume there's a lot of young people listening and students. I wish I had this avenue to, be told all of these things. But yeah, great job. Thank you guys so much for having me. This
Alright.
is my radio debut, so
Yay! More to come.
thank you guys.
All right, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We learned from you, and thank you so much. So our listeners at home, we hope you also enjoyed the show and you learned a thing or two from today's interview. Remember, do what you have to do. The fact that you own an iPhone or you can do Facebook and all, posting is not digital marketing. There's more to it, and there's a lot of things.
Please.
Something makes content sellable, and also for podcast creators, start from where you are till you're able to get brands.
They're looking at me. Offer.
No comments. All right, so do have a beautiful rest of the day, and till we come your way again next week Wednesday. Do have a beautiful week. And from all of us, from Sydney and I in the studio, we're saying bye. Do have a great week. I love you. Great.